My family is white. My family that I was born into is white. I found out my mother was 11 years old. And so race has been on the agenda. I was raised in a town called Blackburn in Lancashire, which is a very good name for the town. I was born in 1959. So what happened was I didn't go through the security blanket of anti-racist policy. Does this make sense? So I got the things actually driven straight for me. And I was on my own in my family. I was the only child of colour in a large working class estate called Highcroft. I find sometimes because I'm from a family of teachers and I'm also from a white family, I also really detest the subtleties of, the intellectual racism and that kind of thing that people sit down in staff rooms and start saying, well, I'm not racist because and then it goes off like this. And I'll sit there and I'll say, I can even talk about my own uncle and auntie, so please don't give that to me. I was trying to give frameworks and foundations to give you what I call being fully PC. Fully PC to me means personally confident and professionally competent. Does that make sense? Take the word equality and take the E off. It says quality. So give the quality delivery that the people paid for. Does this make sense?
Yes.
And then I'll say this to you. There's certain people who try to watch P's and Q's. A man called Malcolm X once said, if you're afraid to tell the truth, you don't even deserve freedom.
That's right.
And so if you're going to be there, you will not be free from your own attitudes if you don't acknowledge them. Make sense? So let me all eugenics, the production of fine, usually human offspring by the development of their inherited qualities. I think you'll find some very good material in here that David's done. It's been a long pregnancy, this one, hasn't it?
No, exactly.
A long gestation period. Yeah, it's really good to see it actually got born. And this kind of information David's given is the kind of studies we had to do to give us the strength and the foundation to understand the games being played. Does this make sense? So watch this. Here's a quote. Foremost is a belief in education at home and at school as a route to the spiritual, moral, social, cultural, physical and mental development and thus the well-being of the individual. Let me say it again. Foremost is a belief in education at home and at school as a route to the spiritual, moral, social, cultural, physical and mental development and thus the well-being of the individual. Ipso facto, if the spiritual, moral, social, cultural, physical and mental development is not taking place, you cannot have the well-being. Does that make sense?
That's right.
Okay, where's this from? Sorry?
I said
What?
God knows.
God, I know God don't know. God. Which God though? Which name for God? You've been excluded? Sorry. We're supposed to round the whole list up. Sorry. What's it? Where's it from?
I guess from the educational thingy about policy or
The educational thingy bob policy.
yeah.
Do you know,
I
like,
bet it's from.
I think what we should do is go down to Parliament and actually say we need to look at the educational thingy bob and policy.
This is it.
Because that's what we need to get into.
That's
Well,
right.
you're spot on. It's actually, watch this.
Yeah.
Education influences and reflects the values of society and the kind of society we want to be. It is important, therefore, to recognise the broad set of common values and purposes that underpin the school curriculum and the work of schools. There's the quote. It's the second paragraph of the values, aims and purposes of the national curriculum. Can the educators put their hands up, please? If there are any educators in here. There have been some teachers. Teachers. Let me just say this to you, right? I got told by some colleagues that the national curriculum was a nationalist curriculum and and I only, for my shame, I could never understand why, with all the weird stuff I was doing in my classroom in Moss Side, that I never got pulled up in the inspections and they said it was bad practice and I was always expecting it. Then I found out it was national curriculum. All the engagement stuff I was doing thinking I was being quite radical, it was national curriculum. But I didn't know, God, I didn't read it. And guess what? I can go all around the country and show that quotation to God knows how many teachers, head teachers and whatever, and they won't identify it. Because they're not delivering it. And that's why they have to do that every child matters.
Paul, I've got to say, sorry to interrupt, he did that in Bradford at a conference we put on, and there was 300 people there, mainly educationalists, head teachers, staff. None of them knew that either. So that was even worse than here. He went to town on them, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Sorry.
I said
Yes, you did.
But if schools are to respond effectively to these values and purposes, they need to. What do you think they're going to say? Watch this. Work in collaboration with the families and the local community, including church and voluntary groups, local agencies and business, in seeking to achieve two broad aims through the curriculum. And these aims provide the essential context within which schools develop their own curriculum. So you see what happens is, if you go to a school and say, come have some black history in there, or can we do this particular thing, or can we do work like that brilliant work you were doing? Listen, we'd like to, but the national curriculum says, liar! Liar! You can do what you want, as long as it's fulfilling the criteria laid out. Oh my gosh. Two aims. Aim one, the school curriculum should aim to provide opportunities for all children to learn and achieve. The school curriculum should contribute to the development of pupil, listen to this one, contribute to the development of the pupil's sense of identity through knowledge and understanding of the spiritual, moral, social and cultural heritages of Britain's diverse society. Do you see this one here? Identity development. And then finally, aim two, promote the spiritual, moral, social and cultural development. But then also, look at this, enable pupils to challenge discrimination and stereotyping. Do you see the word I've underlined there?
Yes.
It does not say discuss. It does not say be aware of. It does not say be able to extol the virtues of in 40 words or less. It does not say debate about. It says challenge. What do you think would happen to a lot of young black guys and young girls and whatever if they were to challenge their teachers if they believed they were being... Because where are the teachers coming from in their mindset? Just get checked out of class.
Benevolent.
Isn't it funny? Stereotyping alive and well today.